Hey YouTube, what up? Welcome back. I just want to come through for a quick moment and talk about something here. Alright, have you ever noticed, like, if one light-skinned person messes up, all light-skinned people mess up? Have you ever met somebody, particularly of, our darker brothers and sisters who may sometimes have, something against a lighter shade of black person, both male and female, because of what someone who's light skinned did, even though you guys aren't related at all, you just happen to share the same skin tone. Have you ever noticed that? Thankfully, thankfully, I don't think this has ever popped up in my personal life. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But I don't think this has ever popped up in my personal life. But, you know, I have on occasions kind of heard, I don't know, some people having, some type of resentment or animosity toward lighter skinned people because of what a lighter skinned person did to them in their past. Perhaps a light skinned person, male or female, may have curved them, male or female, right? They may have, really liked the light skinned person, but maybe the light skinned person didn't like them back. And perhaps maybe they said something that was colorist as well in expressing that they didn't like them back. Unreciprocated like, you know, mixed with some colorism in there. So I think, that a situation like that could, foster some resentment and make you kind of feel like, okay, them light skinned people, they kind of, messed up in the head. They think they're better than us. I can think of one situation that happened, not with me, but it was like another person. Dr. Yaba Blay, I think she had spoke about a situation where she had a friend, at the time, and she was light skinned. I think she was Creole, you know. She had a friend who was having a wedding, and Yaba Blay had joked, hey, where's my invitation? And then, I won't go into exactly what she said, out of respect, but basically saying that, she wasn't allowed to come to the wedding because of her skin tone. All right. So for Dr. Yaba Blay, she said that she did kind of have some animosity toward lighter skinned people because she kind of felt like all lighter skinned people had that mentality. Of course, we all know that's not true, but I can't completely blame her. Um, because I can understand that being sort of a triggering experience to go through. Having a good friend of yours basically say that you discriminate against you. You know, so understandably. But as well, we can kind of flip it around and say that, some light skinned people may have something against some darker skinned people because of, you know, the experiences they've been through with darker skinned folks. you know, it could be, and they feel like, all dark skinned people are the same and treating them all as a collective instead of as individuals, right? We could go there. We can kind of go there too. I think it can kind of go either way, but I feel like it kind of shifts towards dark skin feeling some way about light skins a little bit more. I could be biased. Perhaps I could be a little biased. To be, to be fair. But I personally think that it's that way just because I think that sometimes darker skinned people view lighter skinned people as a collective, as just a group of people, and not as individuals. Sometimes, sometimes it seems like we can be somewhat interchangeable. Sometimes, Mhm. Like every dark skinned person got a light skinned cousin, right? You know, light skinned mama. um, who else light skinned? Light skinned grandma. You know, I had a few, brown skinned, dark skinned folks say that I remind them of some family member, you know, some family member, right? Thankfully, it's like a positive, you know, connection, a positive trigger and not a negative one. Like someone said, like a brown skinned guy had said that I remind him of his nephew, his sister's son. I'm like, oh, I guess I was thinking, oh, is his sister a squirrel? I, just wondering how the light skin got there. She could just be into. We all know light skinned folks can come through a many a different way. You know, you know, one woman said I remind her of her godson. Brown skinned woman said I remind her of her godson. I had this. I was in the store like years ago, and I had this like probably brown skin, dark skin man come up to me and just start talking to me, and he was like, "Oh," he just thought I was just somebody that he knew, you know. And also, like when I was younger, I when I was a kid, um, there were it was like in the neighborhood that I lived in, it wasn't like a lot of like light skinned folks, which wasn't a problem or anything. No one ever made me feel like I was like different, in like a negative way or anything like that. But um, it was like me and this other girl, and we had said like we would sometimes say that we were like cousins, our sister and brother, and people would believe that. you know but yeah, rest in peace to her. Unfortunately, rest in peace, rest in power to her. you know Unfortunately, I probably shouldn't go into that, but basically she had some issues with her boyfriend that unfortunately didn't end well. Yeah, but thank you for watching. Let me know what you think. Until the next video, adios and goodbye for now.